new MMTs who are learning how to trade the after hours market and the volatility in price that occurs on headline reactions to the actual headline numbers of the reports. How do I trade it and how do I walk away with making money? Well, for the new MMTs that are here, today for roll call, it's 11:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's not forget though, it's 7:24. These were some of the earnings that have already come out, but one of the things that we're going to take a look at today is AKAM, that we're going to be very thorough about, the backbone of their revenue streams and how much is coming in and how much is going out. Our new customers bookings are going up. There's lots of things, but nonetheless, every one of these, the big bellwether is going to be right here, Baidu. So we got Baidu. The other one that we're going to take a look at in the restaurant sector is Cheesecake Factory. Why? Well, some of the restaurant stocks have had difficulties in the quarter. So we want to be very key specific as to how this price is going to react, or what they have done to keep up their quarter over quarter guidance is higher, and they're making more money and they're selling more cheesecakes. So Citrix Online, it's an application. We all know what it is. We use that here. So when you enter the free 5-day trial, you'll be using their product, Citrix Systems. In the software, we're going to see what they do after the close. Crocs, that little retailer that used to be a high flyer way back up there at $82. Those were, years ago, but it was up there at one point. The retailer here, they tried to have a turnaround story. It's been okay so far, but we want to see where that revenue increase and growth is actually taking place. EQIX, it's been hammered. Yes, it has. And we just want everyone to know, MMTs, this bellwether FFIV, it's part of the internet, the backbone of the internet, actually. Not only that, is that have they turned that corner? Have they turned that corner where bookings are coming in higher? Profit margins are expanding. Not only that, the overall negative ratio in the last couple of quarters, FFIV has suffered, and it's been a great short each and every time and how to make big money on it. Yes, after hours has a way of doing things, and we have plenty of live trades that we do. This is for the roll call today for the new MMTs. So basically, IF, this little stock right here, ITMN, that's really going to be the next one. And where are they at? It's a biotech. Let's just take a look at Las Vegas Sands. All eyes on Las Vegas Sands. When will report tomorrow? So, MMT, we just want to make sure that Qualcomm is a big thing. Lots of downgrades, something to do with the iPhone. But you know what? There could be a surprise there. But you see, the productivity side of a lot of stuff doesn't really show that. So yeah, they're a little bit weak in the thing, but I would buy this thing every time on the dip. It's going to have a next generation of revenue models that will come back to play, just as it was back in the late 90s. Qualcomm was a very high flyer. They made lots of money, and they're going to have a new chipset. So we're going to see how they fare overall around the world in their cells, and how has that really changed. So basically, those are a couple that are very interesting to us. Visa, which we trade every day, and that Tractor Supplies, we traded every day. Swift Transportation, we already know what happened to JB Hunt when they reported. And once again, it's 11:48 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Pacific Standard Time, so at little after 4 o'clock Eastern, a little after 1 o'clock on the Pacific Standard Time, then we'll start getting a slew of these reports that come out. Not only that, price volatility in both directional movements. We have what we call a algorithm that when they pop them on the headline, we short them. And then guess what? When they pop them down $10, $15 and we buy them all the time, just like we bought Google down at the bottoms, $41 below the market. We did. And today we have the big Apple trade for the earnings. They were due. ISRG, we've been short. But let's just take a look here, everybody. for the MMT. Cheesecake Factory right now is trading at 41.79. Baidu right now is trading at 113.83. What a big move it has had off of that bottom. And there's a lot of things going on in China that they have bought, and they're going to expand their video operations in China. And what would that do for Baidu? Why would Baidu has been in a slump for the last 8 quarters, period. I don't care what anyone says. The thing about it is it's ran up anticipation of a good report, and it can still pop higher because they just did those acquisitions. And what will the analyst community look at it? We already know. For us, it's about price volatility in after hours. So, what I would like to make very clear is Qualcomm, which is already sold down, QCOM, it's right here, MMT, so you have a benchmark at 61.58 by 60. We'll be looking at this one after hours. We'll be looking to see if that money off the sideline wants to come in and buy these dips. Of course, we would take it up off of the lower end of the bottom. We'd take it up about $2.50 and we'd sell right into it immediately. And then the money would be ours. How wonderful that is. Here, Tractor Supply. There had been some negative comments on Tractor Supply MMTs. It's 121 playing up. I can tell you, though, beyond a reasonable doubt, when I put in TSCO here in the chart, MMT, you can see where the reversal was up there on that 60-minute high. And it's come down $3. That's a wonderful short and play. Now, MMT, let's just take a look at that daily. It's testing the 20-day simple moving average at 119.63 MMT, and we're going to be trading this one after hours. Now, Tractor Supply, we will be shorting the top end on the initial release of the earnings, the knee-jerk reaction, the capitulation in price that goes up in value. We would be a short seller immediately. Then it would drop $3 to $5. We'll cover. Now, on the lower end, if we drop down toward that 112.50 on a knee-jerk reaction, we would look at buying it down here. And remember, it's 11:51 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7/24/2013. We're 7 minutes into this, but it's good for you to see the Tractor Supply and exactly where it is, because I just want you to know where some of the prices are. Not only that, like I said, this Baidu again, when you really look at where the price is and you look at Baidu, let's just look at it again. You can see it right here. It's going into as far as what it's making a higher high here. Let's take a look at this high today. That high right there so far is 113.8, 80 pennies. Not only that, the high over here, just so you know, was 113.56. Well, 113.56 pennies, and this is 80 pennies that made another higher high in this channel. Now let's look at the weekly on Baidu. Ooh, Baidu is up here where it started all its problems at 113 and some change. MMTs came all the way down to these lows where we were looking at having the scale in down there at around $83. That was a buy on Baidu. And every time it seems like it gets down toward that $85, $87 range, $83 range, you get these great pops. These are great to go long, of course. And then look at here. 3 weeks in a row it went straight down. And when you short that MMT, that's great. Now, what I am saying to all of my MMTs that are in the after hours training, learning how to trade the volatility, knowing what the earnings reports really mean, knowing how to go through them. We use a software program that cones the numbers. We can always tell when they're either cooking the books or not cooking the books. But most importantly is, what side of that trade, and how do I take advantage of those big drops down here? And so we'll have limit orders way down here right after the close. It's right now 11:53 a.m. Not only that, this is a big breakout bar when that announcement came out about getting involved with that other company, and they're doing some mergers now, MMTs. So, you know, Down here is that weekly area. Once again, you always hit right at that 88 handle. You'd come off of these bottoms over here, but see, this was the main part of that 3 week breakout. It went right along with the whole broader market of the last monthly bull run. So, once again, I'm going to conclude this to the MMTs because it's very important. And if you want to see something like Citrix Systems, CXTX, that's that online thing, like a go-to meeting. Here's their software. They're up here at 67. They don't move a lot, but look at here. They were on sale at 58, and they already come up $10, and that's over a 5 week period. That's a little bit different type of trade because of the way it moves. It's not high beta with high price volatility. There is another one that you should know, MMT, as far as the this particular stock, Triquint Semiconductor, it is a semi, but we would just be looking at what they had to say, see if there's any changes in there. See, but semis are generally weak. Swift, once again, we're going to be looking at that. Don't forget about that Las Vegas Sands. Let's take a look at LVS on this chart on a weekly level. What has LVS done? And when reports earnings tomorrow? MMT. And right now we're 5 minutes away from going into the last hour on all of these earning report releases. There will be a lot of money to be clocked in there on buying the dip. So this one here, Las Vegas Sands, you can see it was on sale at 48. It's come up here. It doesn't move high, low to range intraday real big, but it is worth buying it if we pop down here toward the $50 area. And in after hours, they can do it in milliseconds. We're experts in high frequency trading technologies and how they're used and how that mathematical scripts, when they drop, they bounce, or when they pop up, they'll sell down. That's the weekly chart. So we know that it's got to clear 60 to make a 52-week high right here. So basically, let's look at the daily chart on LVS. LVS is very clearly demonstrating, as of calendar date 7/24/2013, 11:56 a.m. MMT. I'm following through the moving averages. Look at that. See, that's a 100-day moving average, the yellow line. Not only that, the 10-day is at 55.22 pennies, and it's slightly undercutting that right now. And on the 60-minute on LVS, now just remember, you can always make money shorting this up here. It was 56, so it is selling down going into the quarterly report. I will tell you, though, we will be ready to either take it long very quickly and fast when they release the headline numbers. Once we see what LVS has to say, it's going to give us some insight into WYNN Wynn Resorts, which is trading right now at 130.90. It had been up and it reversed finally, but not all the way. So both stocks, there are negative comments on Wynn, period, for tomorrow at Thursday. MMT, once again, it's great to have you in the program. It's great to have you in the after-hour earnings and how this will all work out. Let us not forget that the new MMT enrollees, you can go here and actually get the live trades that we've either helped you do and or we have done and or the groups of people that are trading these after-hour earnings are all going to be posted here for you. And it's going to be very important for you to contact us if you want to get involved in the quarterly earnings reporting session. That's 3 months of earnings every quarter. You're welcome to sign up a quarter and go through our training. You can call us at 702-685-0772 to get the pricing, and you can also have a free trial as to what you can look forward to. But most importantly, you already have all the live trading videos, so there isn't any more to talk about. The truth is all right here.